Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is our last summary for our class, HCM 3500. Just had a couple things to go over. Generally, everyone did well in the quiz last week. There's just one question I'll go over briefly. This past week we talked about materials management, specifically about inventory ordering, etc. The supply chain is a really important aspect of any hospital or healthcare organization, just because there's so much money that can be wasted or saved based on the details of your supply chain and how efficient it is. So, really important area. So there was a nice video about supply chain, about how it's so important to make those transformations. We obviously had our reading from chapter 12 as well, and then our discussion about uh, you know understanding where that point is as to when you need to reorder, when you don't need to reorder, and what types of information you might want to provide in a discussion with physicians about that. A lot of times, I think that if people aren't understanding of just-in-time ordering, they'll be very wary of it, and this is hence the reason for this discussion we had last week. So it is, really important that we, in any aspects of healthcare, data is really key. So when we are talking to our physician administrator or our physicians in our practice, they may be the ones that own them. They own the practice. They may be just those that work there, but they are the ones that are going to be worried that there isn't going to be the supply that they need. Obviously, at this point, for whatever reason, we're ordering about 3 times more than what we need. Keeping that on stock. So the kinds of things we would want to include in our presentation are, a discussion of the cost of keeping that in stock. Maybe you have supplies that are expiring before you get to use them. Those types of things. You would want to talk about the importance of just-in-time ordering and what processes you'll put in place to make sure that you have the supplies they need, but you're not, you don't have an excessive amount of them, etc. So I think the key to this discussion is providing the providers with the data that they need to understand the point of having an appropriate supply chain management system in place, and then assuring them that things will be ordered, making sure that you have you understand the proper order point, and that you'll be sure to be ordering those in time, etc. So that was our discussion there. It's Monday morning, so I haven't looked at your final projects yet, but I'm looking forward to taking a look at those this week. I think that hopefully you were able to grab some great information on whatever your topic was. Everyone kind of had different topics, and then also do a little bit of analysis on that topic as well. So week 8, let's take a look at that quick. So in week 8, we are looking at planning a little bit. There's a whole course in strategic planning in this program. So if you're interested in strategic planning, you can certainly take our HSAM course on that topic. But we do want to talk about it a little bit. It does, strategic planning is a big element of a financial operation. Strategic planning is much more broad than finance, but we're going to talk a little bit about the planning process as it relates to finance. For your assignments this week, we are not doing the synchronous session. I can see these because I'm in the instructor view. You should not be able to see these here. I did delete that, and I had sent a note to everybody. I had removed that requirement this term, just because the vast majority of students in this class are not in the HSA program, but in the nursing program, and I know that that's not an element of your courses. So just because, and especially this is the last week of the term, it just timing was not great for everyone in the class. So I've removed that requirement. But so you don't have a discussion this week. When I have a synchronous session, I don't require discussion in that week. There is an optional discussion, which I'd appreciate if if you're interested in participating in that. There's no points associated, but if you can just provide some feedback about things you liked and didn't like about the course, things that we can, um, you know, provide changes we can make in the future. that would be really helpful to us. We are offering this course again in the summer. I'm not teaching it, but I will certainly look to pass along the information to the person that's teaching it for the summer. We also do have a quiz this week, so make sure you do take part in that, and then we'll also obviously have our summary, which is this right here. So there was just one quiz question. Like I said, everyone did really well. And I'm not going to go through all the calculations here because generally it looked like on the calculations you did pretty well. We're calculating, the various total costs and whatnot. There was just this one question that was missed, so I wanted to show you how we calculate that. So the question was, using the data provided and given a constant demand, how many orders are placed per year based on these data points here? So in one of the previous questions, you had calculated already how many weeks between orders, and it was calculated at 3 weeks between orders based on, a kind of this type of a inventory system, maintaining a certain amount of inventory, etc. So we had already calculated that 3 weeks between orders. So in order to get how many orders are placed per year, you just take the number of weeks in a year, obviously 52, divide that by the 3 weeks between orders that we had already seen, and that gave us our answer 17.33. Obviously, we rounded down for the answer itself. So our answer was 17. But that was the only question that was missed. Everyone did really well on the other equations throughout the chapter. And they're not, the examples that they gave you in the text and in the slides were, you just had to kind of switch a few numbers around. So hence the reason I'm not going to go through it in detail. But if you do have questions on how to calculate those things, like I said, everyone got them right that they had them. So I'm guessing that you can manage that okay. But if you do have questions on how to calculate the various aspects, please just let me know. I'm happy to go over that in more detail. So that's all I have. It's been a pleasure working with everyone this term. Like I said, I know the majority of you are in the nursing program, but if you do have an interest, further interest in health administration, you can certainly add a few additional courses and take a minor in health administration. We'd love to have you join us. We also have a master's program in health administration. So once you're done with your nursing program, if you're interested in coming back to that, again, we'd love to have you. It is available fully online, so that's a great option for those that work. And we do have a lot of nurses, rad techs, nuke med techs, those types of folks in that, respiratory therapists that want to take that extra step and move up, have the opportunity to have a master's degree and be able to move up a little bit further. So we'd love to see you. And congratulations to any of you that are graduating. I think we have at least one graduate in the class. But if anybody else is graduating, graduating, congrats. It's a great accomplishment. You should be very proud of yourselves. And working full time and doing classes, it's tough. It's difficult. I myself did 2 of my graduate degrees, actually 3 of my graduate degrees while working full time as well and raising a family. So it's certainly difficult. I know exactly where you've been, and so you should be very proud of yourselves for accomplishing that, continuing on if you're not quite done yet, or accomplishing that task. It's a great task to have completed while you're as a non-traditional student. It's tough. I myself was, like I said, a non-traditional student. So any other questions, please just let me know. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and hope to see you in the future. Just let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Okay, thanks so much.